Welcome to Empowered Heart to Heart, where we explore the art of navigating leadership, love, and life without losing yourself. I'm Dr. Rhonda Simmons, and I'm here to help you lead with purpose, love with intention, and live a life that truly feels like your own. Let's go. Well, hey, this is Dr. Rhonda Simmons, and I am so glad to be with you on another edition of Empowered Heart to Heart. It's an exciting day, and I'm glad to be here with you sharing this moment, and I don't want to waste a single second of your time. I want to continue in our series on burnout recovery blueprint from surviving to thriving. It's so important. If you haven't been keeping up with the series, I suggest you go back to a couple of episodes where we've already discussed what burnout really looks like and why you may be missing the signs. We also talked about breaking the cycle, why rest is not optional. That was a powerful episode. And today we're going deep, y'all. We're going to be talking about boundaries that heal, protecting your time and your energy. This is so powerful. So I hope that you are ready to listen and to learn some things that you can put into play right now. So I'm going to be teaching you how to set and enforce boundaries at work and at home. So let's get started. Boundaries is a word. It seems like today's society doesn't like to have boundaries, but they are helpful. They are indeed healthy when we set them. But when we don't have established boundaries in our lives, that's where we have a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and most of all, a lot of burnout. And so let's look at some of the key components to setting these boundaries that heal. The boundaries have a purpose. So the first thing to look at is the connection between poor boundaries and burnout. You know, the best way I can talk about this is I can tell you about a time in my life when I suffered from what I call approval addiction, where key people in my life had this perceived, or I had um, a perception of them that they had some sort of power over me that was just unhealthy. And I was trying to please them all the time to the point of making myself physically ill. Yes, I remember this time vividly. I remember, just hurling over a trash can simply because I was doing something that someone didn't like. It wasn't that I was hurting anybody. I wasn't hurting myself. I wasn't making bad decisions. I was simply doing what someone didn't like. Well, that's because I didn't have healthy boundaries at the time. And so, because of that, it caused me extensive burnout. Burnout is so critical because it is beyond just, oh, I need to go lay down. It is an exhaustion that feels inescapable. You can sleep for 12 hours and wake up just as exhausted as you were as when you went to bed. And you have to analyze why. It's oftentimes because we don't have healthy boundaries set up in our lives. So there is a direct connection between poor boundaries or the lack thereof and burnout. And so we've got to make sure that we are establishing those lines. You remember way back in the day in the cartoons where there were, two people about to fight, and one would say, I dare you to cross this line, and they would draw a line in the dirt or in the sand. And then of course that the other person would cross the line, and then the person would say, well, okay, well, I dare you to cross this one. Well, there needs to be some hard and fast lines drawn that this is where I go. This is the limit, because we are all human and we all have limits. And so that takes us to the second thing. If you're going to set healthy boundaries, then you need to be prepared for when those boundaries are being questioned or threatened or ignored. And so you do that through scripts and strategies for saying no without guilt. Don't feel guilty because you have a boundary. It's not your fault that other people don't. Um, you just have to be concerned about maintaining your peace, your time, and your energy. And so, if you've noticed and been following me in this series of teaching, you know that I have been offering our Burnout Recovery Toolkit, which is packed full of strategies that can help you overcome burnout and break the cycle. And then the toolkit goes hand in hand with the teachings. And so, if you download the free, absolutely free toolkit, you'll see that there is a boundary setting toolkit just for you. Within the toolkit is boundary setting scripts rather. And so I literally tell you what to say in certain scenarios. For example, when you're asked to take on extra work, you can say, I'd love to help, but my plate is full right now. Can we revisit this later? And just smile, nod, walk away. Or when you're setting limits with your family, tell them, I need some quiet time to recharge. Let's connect after dinner. Because protecting your peace is everything. When you have to decline social invites, tell the person, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I need to rest tonight, but let's catch up soon. You're telling the person you're really interested in what they had to say at this particular social invite, social gathering. However, your rest is the most important because you're not good to anyone when you are burnt out, especially yourself. So let me just remind you of something. No is a complete sentence. I heard a friend say that no is a decision. It's not an emotion, it's a decision. I've often told friends when they've asked me a question that warranted a yes or no answer, and I said no, they would get so shocked. And I would have to remind them, you know, you asked me a question where yes or no was warranted. Why you weren't prepared for a no, I don't understand. I chose no. You see that smile? You just have to. And I know you may be thinking, oh my goodness, that is so obnoxious. No. Is your peace obnoxious? Is protecting your time, your energy, your mental well being obnoxious? Absolutely not. If you don't protect it, who will? So you have to do what you have to do in order to keep your peace. So, first, one of the key points is the connection between poor boundaries and burnout. Second is using the scripts and strategies that I've provided in the Burnout Recovery Toolkit to help you say no without guilt. And then the third thing is how to recognize and protect your energy leaks. This is powerful because you need to know what's draining you. Okay, between me and you, there are certain conversations with folks I try to avoid simply because I know it's going nowhere and it leaves me so depleted. It takes my time. Have you ever had a conversation for an hour and at the end of the hour you realize nothing was accomplished, nothing changed, but here you are with an hour of your life gone? That's what I would tell my students. You know, I would tell them, you just took minutes of my life that I will never get back. Protecting your time, your energy, and your peace are that important. They cannot be replaced. Time is the one commodity that you don't get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And your energy is so important to you because you need to apply the best you, the best version of yourself to the things that matter the most. And so you need to find out and identify where the energy leaks are happening. What's draining your energy? What's leaving you so exhausted, mentally exhausted after the fact? Is it a conversation with that person in your life who is always negative and can't see the bright side of anything? Is your energy leak a job that is absolutely exhausting you and just basically sucking all the life out of you because you've stopped learning, you've stopped growing, and the job is just a pain, literally a pain, a physical pain, and you're stressed out and having anxiety attacks on the way to work? You might think, how do you know all this? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, the hat, the red bottom shoes, and the gloves, and the bag. I'm just saying. And so setting boundaries that heal are so important. You're not being mean by having boundaries, but you're trying to recover from burnout. So you need healing. Setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, will help you do just that. And so, as I like to say, I am a faith-based practitioner, and the Bible says in Matthew 5:37, let your communication be yea, yea, and nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. And you might think, well, what is Jesus saying in this verse? Basically, what he's saying is set healthy boundaries where your yes means yes and your no means no. And he's saying anything outside of that is unhealthy for you, it's unprofitable for you. That's why you need to set healthy, clear boundaries that heal and stick to them. Don't make exceptions. Just stick to them. Remember, no is a complete sentence. No is a decision, not an emotion. It's a decision. There are some times you have to choose no because it's in your best interest. And so make sure you download the Burnout Recovery Toolkit. Absolutely free. The link is somewhere around this video or in the show notes for our podcast. You don't want to miss it because these tools that I'm giving, these gems that I'm dropping every week will help you. It will heal you. Every place that you hurt from burnout, it will recover you from burnout so that you can bring the best version of yourself to every aspect of your life. Because don't you deserve it? I'm Dr. Rhonda Simmons, and I am so glad to have shared this moment with you. And so until the next time, be blessed, be encouraged, but most of all, be empowered. And I'll see you on the next edition of Empowered Heart to Heart.